Greetings, Golden State Warriors fan. Today we're diving into a topic that's igniting NBA rumors: the Warriors' next steps to maintain their dynasty alongside Stephen Curry. Should we go all in on Giannis Antetokounmpo or explore alternatives like Brandon Ingram to strengthen the team? Let's dissect the pros and cons of each option and how they could impact the franchise's future. But before we start, don't forget, subscribe to the channel, leave your like, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Your subscription strengthens our Warriors fan community. Let's begin with the current context. The Warriors are facing a delicate moment, coming off 2 consecutive losses and dealing with rotation decisions that have frustrated both fans and analysts. Moses Moody, for instance, had a brilliant performance against the Brooklyn Nets, but was hindered by questionable choices from Steve Kerr, who limited his playing time in the second half. This raises a key question: are the Warriors making the most of their current roster's potential? And more importantly, how do these decisions affect their future plans? Moody delivered an impressive performance in the first half, leading the team with 15 points while hitting 6 of 7 shots. Yet despite this, he was benched during crucial moments. Meanwhile, the Warriors face challenging games against teams like the Thunder, Suns, and Nuggets, and decisions like this could prove costly. This leads us to the big question: how can the Warriors maximize the talent of Stephen Curry and Draymond Green while building a team capable of competing at the highest level? 2 options emerge on the horizon: Giannis Antetokounmpo and Brandon Ingram. Giannis, the Milwaukee Bucks superstar, would be a groundbreaking addition to the team. His ability to dominate both ends of the court is undeniable, and he would bring an immediate impact to the Warriors. But there are considerable obstacles. Giannis's relationship with Milwaukee is being closely monitored, and a trade to Golden State would require giving up valuable assets like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and draft picks. The price would be steep, but the potential to form a super team alongside Curry is enticing. On the other hand, Brandon Ingram is a more accessible and equally intriguing option. With his versatility and scoring ability, he could be the perfect complement to Curry and Draymond. Additionally, his expiring contract offers the Warriors the flexibility to reassess his fit after the season. However, bringing him in would also require sacrificing young talents. The question is Ingram worth that sacrifice? Moves like these don't come without risks. Acquiring Giannis or Ingram would mean committing young assets and future picks. In Ingram's case, there's the advantage of financial flexibility, but also uncertainty about how he'd fit into the Warriors' system. With Giannis, the cost would be significantly higher, but the short-term championship potential would be immense. Fans are divided. While some argue that Giannis is the solution to bring the Warriors back to the top, others believe betting on Ingram is a more balanced move. Analysts also point out that although Giannis is a bigger name, Ingram could fill specific gaps the Warriors are facing, such as being a reliable secondary scorer. So, what should the Warriors do? Go all in on Giannis, even if it means sacrificing part of the franchise's future, or opt for Ingram, a more accessible and flexible solution? Whatever the decision, one thing is certain: we're at a crucial moment for the team's future. Let's dive even deeper into this strategic issue, as the decisions made now will not only affect the current season, but the entire future of the franchise. The Golden State Warriors are not a team that simply participates in the league. They are an organization that has built a winning culture and an identity rooted in excellence. Therefore, any move involving bringing Giannis Antetokounmpo or Brandon Ingram must be made with extreme care and planning. Let's imagine a scenario where Giannis joins the Warriors. How would he fit into Steve Kerr's system? Giannis is one of the most dominant players in the NBA today, with a rare combination of size, strength, and skill that makes him unstoppable in transition. He's also an elite defender, capable of protecting the rim and guarding players across multiple positions. Adding Giannis to the team would create an immediate impact, but there's a key point to consider: the Warriors' offensive philosophy. Kerr's system is based on constant ball movement and quick cuts, whereas Giannis is most effective when operating as the primary creator, dominating possession. This means there would be a learning curve, both for Giannis and the other players. Curry and Draymond Green would need to adjust their roles to make room for the new star, which might take some time to work perfectly. Even so, the ceiling of this team with Giannis would be terrifyingly high, something every opponent in the league would fear. On the other hand, Brandon Ingram represents a more natural fit for the Warriors' style. His ability to create his own shot, combined with his capacity to stretch the floor with accurate mid-range and long-range shooting, would make him an excellent secondary or tertiary option alongside Curry. Additionally, Ingram possesses an underrated skill. He's a smart passer who could contribute to the ball movement system the Warriors highly value. Another point in Ingram's favor is his versatility. Standing at 6'8" with an impressive wingspan, he can play as a forward or even take on playmaking duties in certain situations. In a roster where flexibility is a necessity, Ingram can fill multiple gaps and become the type of player the Warriors need to ease the burden on Curry and Draymond. Of course, there are risks. Ingram has a history of injuries that raises concerns about his long-term durability. Moreover, he has never played in an environment with expectations as high as those of the Warriors. The pressure for consistent performances in decisive games is much greater on a title-contending team than on a rebuilding one like the Pelicans. Perhaps the biggest question surrounding any move for Giannis or Ingram is the impact on the franchise's future. The Warriors would have to give up young assets like Jonathan Kuminga, Moses Moody, and draft picks to acquire either of these players. This creates a clear dilemma. Are the Warriors willing to sacrifice the future to win now? Kuminga, in particular, is an intriguing talent. At just 21 years old, he has already shown flashes of being an impactful player on both ends of the court. His athleticism is elite, and his ability to defend multiple positions makes him a valuable asset. But so far, he hasn't been given a consistent role in Kerr's rotation. If Kuminga is included in a trade, the Warriors would essentially be betting that the player they receive in return will be more impactful than what Kuminga could become in the coming years. And what about Moses Moody? Despite his moments of brilliance as seen against the Brooklyn Nets, he still hasn't fully earned the coaching staff's trust. This raises a question. Should the team invest more in Moody's development instead of seeking an external star? NBA history is filled with examples of young players who became key pieces when given the right opportunity. The Warriors have already proven they know how to build a dynasty. Since the beginning of the Curry era, the team has won 4 championships and redefined modern basketball. But maintaining a dynasty is just as difficult as building one, and we're seeing that now. The roster has aged, and other teams in the league are more competitive than ever. This means the decisions made now will be crucial in determining whether the Warriors remain a dominant force or enter a rebuilding period. Mike Dunleavy Jr., the new general manager, is under intense pressure to make the right calls. Any bold move, such as bringing in Giannis or Ingram, will be scrutinized heavily. On the other hand, doing nothing could also be seen as a mistake, especially if the team continues to struggle this season. Perhaps the most underestimated issue in the Warriors' future equation is the inevitable transition from the Curry era to a new chapter for the franchise. How will the team manage the end of an era that has shaped modern basketball? Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green won't be at their peak forever, and the decisions made today will determine whether the Warriors remain relevant in the next decade or fall into mediocrity. This is where young players like Kuminga, Moody, and even future draft picks come into play. Imagine this scenario. Kuminga developing into a hybrid of Kawhi Leonard and Pascal Siakam, combining relentless defense with offensive bursts. Moody, on the other hand, emerging as a consistent wing player, reminiscent of Harrison Barnes in his prime. If the Warriors can provide time and space for these rising stars, the team could avoid a painful rebuild and remain competitive. Developing young talent on a team already contending is one of the NBA's biggest challenges. It's hard to give these players the necessary court time when the expectations are to compete for a championship every year. Steve Kerr is the architect of the Warriors' recent success. He revolutionized the team's basketball with a style of play that prioritizes movement, quick passes, and sharp shooting. But as he admits, his philosophy needs to evolve. "We can't just copy what worked in the past," Kerr recently said. "The game has changed, and we need to adapt." What does that mean? Kerr knows that relying solely on Curry is not sustainable. Bringing in a player like Giannis or Ingram would be a bold move, but Kerr also understands that sacrificing young talent might be too risky. He's caught in a dilemma. Preserve the legacy or dare to redefine it? Another factor that must be considered is the financial impact of any major trade. The Warriors are already dealing with the heavy salary burden of Curry, Thompson, and Green. Adding a superstar contract like Giannis's would not only require giving up young talent, but also involve expiring contracts and future draft picks. This would put even more pressure on the team to win immediately. On the other hand, bringing in Brandon Ingram, whose contract is less burdensome, would give the Warriors more flexibility. But even this option would require significant financial sacrifices. The NBA's new collective bargaining agreement is creating an even more restrictive environment for teams operating above the salary cap, making any move risky. If we look at the past, we see that teams that bet big on major trades have had mixed results. The Lakers traded nearly their entire future for Anthony Davis and were rewarded with a title in 2020. On the other hand, the Brooklyn Nets, when they brought in Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, sacrificed years of competitiveness for a project that failed. History teaches us that there are no guarantees in the NBA, even with the best talent. The Warriors know this. They built their dynasty with patience, developing talents like Curry, Thompson, and Green. Is the franchise willing to abandon this model to pursue a big name now, or is the true path to success in staying patient and trusting their system? The lingering question is, what is truly at stake for the Warriors this season? It's not just about winning another title, it's about defining the franchise's future. Every decision now will have implications that go beyond wins and losses. They will define how fans remember this era and what they expect from the next. Throughout history, the Warriors have been more than just a team. They represent innovation, excellence, and the ability to surprise the world. But to continue this tradition, they need to make decisions that balance the present and the future. In the end, the fans play an important role in this process. You, who pack the Chase Center, who cheer with every three-pointer, who never give up, are the soul of this team. Your opinions, your passion, and your support shape the Warriors culture. That's why we want you to be part of this conversation. So, leave a comment below with your thoughts. What is the right direction? Sacrifice the future to pursue a big name or trust in the development of the young players? Let's build the next chapter of this incredible journey together. Thank you for watching another piece of content from our channel. If you love the Warriors as much as we do, subscribe, leave a like, and share this video with other fans. Here we go beyond the news. We build a community. See you next time, Dubs Nation.